Now, for our next story that we have over here, now, this may not necessarily be animation related, but this definitely does highlight the crazy in AniMat's crazy cartoon cast. In fact, this could debatably be the craziest story that has occurred last week. Something in which, to this day, people are still talking about it. People are still turning all the materials that it offers into memes, and a lot of people are still discussing about it. And when I first saw this, holy crap, I just knew this is something that I had to talk about and fully explore, because this is one of those train wrecks that honestly you cannot look away from. And what I'm talking about is in regards to an experience. And nowadays, experiences are becoming more and more popular, in which companies would go and create these special events based on a popular IP for people to go and enter the world of those experiences. Kind of like a little taste of what theme parks would go and do. And I've already went into a few of them myself. I remember me and my friends, we did a Bridgerton experience that was very nice. And during this holiday season, I went into the Disney immersive experience, and that was absolutely wonderful. But those ones are well organized. Those ones are well planned. This one, on the other hand, is what could objectively be the biggest disaster, because there is, I say objectively, because there is no way that you could find a way to do something worse than the Glasgow Willy Wonka experience. Yes, what happened was that in Glasgow, there was a Willy Wonka experience that has been heavily promoted. And this was one where they promised that it would just be like entering into the world of Willy Wonka, rather it be from the classic books of Roald Dahl, the Gene Wilder 1971 classic movie, or even as recent as the 2023 Wonka movie starring Timothée Chalamet. And they try to make sure that this was a true experience, to the point where they were charging £35 for each ticket for people to go and see this immersive extravaganza. But what people ended up getting is just an absolute calamity. And they felt like all the things that they have been promoted about, they have been lied to. But it was later revealed that all the promotional work that was done for this Wonka experience was generated by AI. So you know for a fact that it was never going to happen in the first place. In fact, let me show you some of the pictures that they have promoted in contrast to what actually happened. So here is an example of an art piece that they use for the promotion. And as you can see here, yes, it is AI generated, but they promise a very colorful Candyland in which everywhere you go, you see jelly beans, lollipops, little Easter bunnies, and so much more just everywhere. This is literal eye candy that you see right before your eyes. And is this what you get in real life? No. In fact, this is what you pretty much get. Sorry, let's put away this ad. But yeah, this is what the real experience looked like, where you get this cheap rainbow archway and you enter into a mostly empty facility. I mean, like, you got like a gumdrop and a gummy bear and like this little poster on the side, but like, for the most part, this is what it is. It's just absolutely empty. Like, no joke, I have seen elementary school science fairs that are more immersive and decorated than this thing. But then let's just get back into the AI stuff, what they've promoted. And they've showed us the Imagination Lab. Yes, thank you, WestJet. We don't need you. Look, just look at this Imagination Lab that they got over here. I mean, so much whimsy, so much psychedelics going on. I mean, this looks wild, right? I mean, this looks like something that could make Journey into Imagination look like Journey into Imagination with Figment. But in reality, I guess they call it the Imagination Lab because, you need some imagination to fill in the space of all this. I mean, look at this abandoned warehouse. Like, even the amount of people, it just feels empty. But to be fair, though, there is one thing that they did include, and that is a bouncy castle. Hey, I mean, if nothing, you do have a bouncy castle that you could go in and have fun. Now, I know at some point, some people might be wondering, well, if you're gonna have the bouncy castle, what about the ball pit? Do you have that little ball pit that people could go and enjoy? Well, sadly, no, that doesn't seem to be a thing in here. I guess CPAC actually had they had reservations for that ball pit. I mean, how else are you gonna go and entertain those Nazis? But anyways, let's go back into here, in which we got more AI art, and look at all the fun, the whimsy, the bright colors, promising us some enchanting entertainment. But I know some of you might be curious as to, and you might be wondering, well, what does enchanting entertainment mean? Because I don't think enchanting is a word. Oh, it is. It definitely is a word. Enchanting means, this. You know, it just means this little sad side area that has a random TV in which I highly doubt they even showed anything on it. And then you got a couple of posters of AI generated images. This is what is considered enchanting entertainment. But anyways, let's go back into more AI stuff. Oh yes, one major thing that they have promised here is the Twilight Tunnel. I don't know what the fridge is going on with this apostrophe here, but look at the magic that is in store. This, you know, this very curious amount of enchantment over here. Like, this is something that's promising us a whole bunch of stuff. And luckily, they did promise us what's going to be in there, in which it is a place that is filled with lighting, not lighting, just lighting. Take away the eye, or the second eye on that. But don't worry, it's not filled with lighting, because it does have some dim tight as well. So at least the tightness of it can be dimmed down. So at least they do have that. But at the same time, it is a place that not only with this enchanting enchantment, it's also filled with a lot of depractions and dojections everywhere. Oh, look at all the dojections and the depractions that are all around, just lighting up this entire tunnel. But then, of course, it's not just your eyes that'll be glimmered with all the senses, because you also got a whole bunch of sounds. Not just any sounds, though. You got a whole lot of Vivu sounds and enigmatic sounds as well. Just imagine listening to all those enigmatic sounds everywhere that are so swide and ungyrable. But not to mention all the hard work that is brought to us, that is just filled with impreti here, that is all made by accepted twits. Yes, this definitely does look like a place that is made by accepted twits. Well, maybe not this one specifically, but this thing right over here certainly does look like something that was made by accepted twits right here. Just this random wall that has a poster of an AI generated image, and I love over here that you got this one pole that shows us that it has some ropes. Yeah, it's definitely prepared for a big lineup here. You definitely want to be there at the rope drop to be right in front of the poster. Oh boy. And of course, we have La Pièce de Résistance, possibly the most popular image of the area, is right over here, and debatably the most decorated part of the whole place as well, where you do have some stuff, you know, like you got a bunch of like colorful swirly plants, some giant lollipops, some mushrooms, a big non-copyright Wonka bar that just says chocolate bar. And honestly, the one thing that I feel like really, it really encompasses all this together, it would have to be the air ventilation system. I think it ties all this oh so well. But as you can see, this place, but, you know, for real though, this place is just an absolute disaster. And not to mention, there have been even more images that did show up circulating on social media, making the comparisons between the AI image that they used for the promotion and also what actually happened. And of course, you got some now world famous images, including the very disgruntled actress playing as an Oompa Loompa. And I think she's the one who is in charge of giving the children the little treats that they would have to go and offer. And of course, with something that is based on Willy Wonka, you would expect that maybe they would go and give out a whole bunch of candy, you know, give it, you know, do like some kind of Halloween experience. But not really, because allegedly what the children have been offered is a jelly bean and a little bit of lemonade. And yes, I did not put in an S in there. It literally is just a jelly bean. Just one bean to give to the kiddos for this entire experience, as if, you know, it's like freaking Jack and the Beanstalk. You're expecting something special, but no, you get just a godforsaken bean out of it. Oh my god. And just seeing these images from left to right is just amazing. It's so stupid. So, as you could probably imagine, people got so upset when they saw that this whole thing turned out to be nothing but a sham. Parents got so mad at it. In fact, they actually called the police. They were so mad and they desperately wanted their money back. Not to mention that there are some people who came from far, like they had to take a train in order to get it. They were demanding not just for their money back for the 35-pound ticket that they bought, but also for the transportation that they had to spend in order to be there. And the fact that now, like, they even had to bring in the police to try to control the situation, honestly, now it's starting to turn more into this crazy Kid Icarus sketch. You know, that's something that I expect Jim Caddick to go and say, like, oh, this Wonka experience, do you know who else should be invited to the Wonka experience? The policeman. Oh, it's just so godforsaken wild to see all this happening. And not to mention, by the way, that apparently it's not just the promotional art that they would have to use in order to go and present this whole thing. But apparently, most of this was actually built with AI. Even the website to go and promote the experience, all of it was done with AI. Even all the texts were written with some ChatGPT AI robot. And not to mention, and the craziest one of them all, is the script. The script that the actors had to use was actually AI generated. And all this right here, like, I actually glanced through this thing, and let me tell you, as an actor myself, it is stunning to see what they have done in all this. It's honestly crazy to hear, like, what is it that the actors have, honestly, just seeing this AI script, it's wild. It's something I have never seen before. Like, okay, let's just, I just want to read you a part of this, because honestly, it's like, you'll understand the quality that the actors had to work with here. So, we're gonna go with this scene here. Scene. Deep within the serpentine pathways of the Twilight Tunnel, the atmosphere grows tense as Willie McDuff gathers the audience in a semicircle. By the way, Willie McDuff is their version of Willy Wonka. I swear, it sounds like some kind of Simpsons character that they have already done before. His face illuminated by the flickering light of his lantern, casting long shadows on the walls. The group's laughter and whispers fade as Willie begins to speak in a grave tone. And here's Willie McDuff with a serious expression. My dear adventurers, we stand on the precipice of a discovery most wondrous and perilous. For within these ancient walls lurks a tale not yet told of an evil chocolate maker known only as the Unknown. The audience leans in, captivated by Willie's words. Like, okay, this is honestly something that I gotta say is so insane. Why the fridge did the script write directions for the audience? You do not do that? I mean, sure, you probably have some emotions that you want to express that you want to expect from the audience to have, but you don't literally write that down into your godforsaken script. The only way that it makes it that this is acceptable is if the audience gets handed over the script, like that each guest that gets into the experience, they get a script so that they can follow the directions as well. That's the only way that it can make sense. Otherwise, what the fridge is this doing in here? Like, yeah, do you expect the audience is going to lean in, captivated by Willy's words? It's like, yeah, do you expect people are going to do that? Because let's just say, I think most people are going to go off script. Let's just say. Anyways, I just want to go back here. So, yes, he introduced the evil chocolate maker that lives in the walls, the unknown. And yes, this experience legitimately has a villain. So he continues on by saying, this fiendish foe has long covered one of the most cherished creations, the anti-gravity gobstopper, a marvel of confectionery science designed to aid, oh, not just any soul, but the tireless guardians of cleanliness, our beloved mums. And yes, dads too, but especially mums, for from their endless scourge of dirty socks strewn about by youthful adventurers, a murmur of amusement and agreement ripples through the audience. What the frick? This has got to be the okay, number one, like, describing moms as the tireless guardians of cleanliness? Why? I can guarantee you, I think there are many moms out there who doesn't deserve to actually have that title in the first place. That seems a bit of a stretch right there. And also, I gotta say, a murmur of amusement and agreement ripples through the audience is honestly one of the most insane things that I have ever read that is on a script. Like, what the fridge is that? It is absolutely stupid right there. Oh my god, I need to stop right here. I cannot continue with reading the script because otherwise I would just go absolutely insane. But holy crap. Just looking at all this, looking at how the experience went. Oh, and by the way, I just want to say, on top of the angry parents, there have been some clips that were shown all across social media. And one of the most famous ones, like on top of like the famous, of the famous depressed actress working alongside a chemistry set, which is also why some people have said that this Wonka experience is more like a meth lab, more so than it is something out of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. But on top of that, there was also this clip going around showing the unknown, which honestly, give me a second. I need to show you a picture of the unknown from that Willy Wonka experience, because you will see that it is that from the looks of it, it is actually this thing right here. This unemployed Death Eater from Willy Wonka somehow holding this mirror for some reason. It's absolutely hilarious. And especially the fact, if you would go and see a clip of it, oh my god, it really does highlight how this experience is, because you got the actor playing as Willy Wonka, or no, I am sorry, Willie McDuff, and then showing us the unknown emerging, and then suddenly it's like, look, it's the unknown, the evil chocolatier that lives in the walls, which is then followed by like, honestly, that crying kid on the side really ties it all together and summarized it perfectly well of how this experience actually is. Oh my god. But, okay, in all seriousness though, I know that we're all having a major laugh over here, but honestly, there is a sad side that honestly is pretty true, that honestly that there is a part that really isn't cool. Like, yes, I think it's safe to say that those parents did legitimately get scammed on it, they deserve to have a refund. And there have been reports that some actually did receive their refund from this whole thing. And also, I gotta say, the one that I personally do feel sorry the most for are the actors. And as a fellow actor myself, I can understand what these people are going through, and it is not a fun experience. I can imagine, like, in fact, they even shared their side of the story in which they revealed that they got scammed as well. Where from there, they didn't know what they were about to get into. They received that AI generated script at the last minute of it. And also, during that experience, they were doing the most that they can in order to brighten up those people, but it was it was next to impossible to do so, considering that these audience members, they were already upset. They know that what they've entered is not Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. They know that this immersive experience is just a flat out scam. So by that point, trying to entertain them, it feels a little bit dangerous because they don't want to do anything to add to their frustration. They're already pissed off as is, and they're worried about what they could possibly do to them or how they would go and let out their frustration. I mean, it already reached so bad to the point that the police had to be called. And then following afterwards, you would get this happening right now, where it became this international sensation. The Wonka experience is globally well known, and I can understand that all this is just so overwhelming for the actors. So honestly, I do send my support to them, and honestly, it's something that, they definitely do have their 15 seconds of fame, but it should have been something in a way that would have been handled a bit better, I do hope for the best for all the actors who are involved, rather if they played Willy or if they played any of the Oompa Loompas or even the one who played the unknown. So I do wish them the best. So at this point, who really is the bad guy here other than the unknown? Who is the one to really blame for this disastrous experience? Well, it's actually contributed not by necessarily a company, but by one person in particular. And it is actually from this Rolling Stone article that the person who was responsible for this entire experience is actually an individual by the name of Billy Cool, I believe. Just want to double check. Yeah, his name is actually Billy Cool, Coull. And apparently, this person has a long history when it comes to making these types of scams and being heavily dependent on AI, in which the company that he has created, in which he called the House of Illuminati, I believe, in which if you go onto that website as well, you will see, even that is completely generated by AI. All the text, all the images that they would go and promote, it's all AI. But then this entire scenario happened, and right now what Billy Cool is trying to do is just full-on damage control. He has deleted several social media links, including his LinkedIn profile. He even deleted his YouTube channel, which is stated here on my source on the Rolling Stone, that apparently he presented himself as a business guru and a life coach. And he even he even issued an apology on the Facebook page and all that kind of stuff. So this is something that it's not necessarily his first rodeo that he would do these AI generated scams. And not to mention that he also published books in which a lot of people have noticed that those too were AI generated, especially when they're just self-published that he would sell himself on Amazon. And some of the subject matter is actually, they're pretty bad. In fact, I would say very dangerous. One example is this one called Selling Innocence, in which the description, it is said over here that, no, not this one. Yeah, right over here. So, it says that the books that he has self-published include titles such as Selling Innocence, a novel about a human trafficking survivor who navigates a treacherous landscape filled with politicians, clergymen, celebrities, and billionaires. The language hints at themes of QAnon conspiracist movement and misinformation about the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So it's basically Sound of Freedom, the book that he would go and publish. But that's not the only one. There's also another one right over here in which it mentions, while some of the stories are generic puzzle-driven plots in the veins of the Da Vinci Code, others, like Selling Innocence, are geared towards paranoid right-wing politics. Operation Inoculation, for example, promises a conspiratorial journey into vaccination truth related to the so-called deep state, in which the carefully constructed facade of the vaccination campaign begins to crumble. So this is honestly a pretty dangerous individual with no morals whatsoever. It's the kind of person that if they truly do believe in those things, then honestly, it shows that they got some serious mental problems. Like any QAnon conspiracy theorist or any anti-vaxxer out there, this is someone who has some serious problems, and wouldn't be surprising if they actually have a history of crime as well, if they would go as to fully believe in these kinds of QAnon conspiracy theories, or even with these anti-vaccine theories as well. Or, and what I believe is the most likely option, is that this person is an absolute sociopathic scam artist. We're talking about someone in the veins of Donald Trump, where this person has no moral value whatsoever. This is just someone who only cares about making money the quickest way possible. Like, we're talking about someone who is like kind of the living embodiment of either like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob or Eddie from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Someone who's willing to do anything and everything just to go and make a quick buck with putting in minimal amount of effort. And as a result, now that he got called out, ultimately what he has done is that he is debatably the biggest detriment to AI. Honestly, the works that he has provided, whether it be the insane books that he has created, or even with the Wonka experience, what he did was that he sets AI back where he shows how the technology is just not ready. How all those arguments of how AI is just so advanced is that it's ready to be used in like our common life, that it can write for itself, it can make art for itself. It's a flat out lie, because the stuff that he would present are just lazy, and I would even say objectively terrible. Rather it be some of the promotional art, rather it be the way he would promote it through like with the text on his websites, or even with that script that he would go and give to the actors. But overall, though, while there is a bit of tragedy, there is also some massive comedy that can be found with this entire experience. It's just, like I said before, it is a wondrous disaster. Like, it's something that you cannot just look away. And now that it all occurred, the best thing we can do is just have a good laugh of how much of a disaster this has become. So yeah, it's just something I really got to talk about. And by the way, we're going to go on to a little bit of a break, but when I do come back, I want to go and ask you all, what do you all think about this Wonka experience? So write down your comments, let me know what you think, and when we do return, I'll go and read them out. Okay, so we are back. Hopefully you got some time to think and type in what you want to say about it. So let's see what the chat wall has to say about this. All right. The whole place looks like a local airport. Heck, even my local airport has more imagination and wonder than this place. It at least offers more than lemonade and a single jelly bean. This makes the Wonka Tunnel of Madness look like a Magic Kingdom celebration. Oh, excuse me. A Magic Kingdom celebration. If I was a parent who paid to come to this place with my kid, I'd be pissed off to no end too. How has Cool is not behind bars by now if he has such a history of crime? Well, I don't know if I would say it is like crime per se. It's more like just cheap get rich quick schemes. That really is all that there is to it. And I mean, considering that the police was involved and didn't immediately arrest Billy for this, honestly, like that's the thing. I don't know if he did anything that is criminal. He's just a really idiotic scam artist. That's really all that there is. He's too stupid to go to jail, as you probably have seen right over here. Oh, let's see now. Calling it now, this was a ploy by the chocolate cartel in an attempt to make Wonka look bad. I mean, if you saw a poster promising a promising Carthy tunes and the experience quality and expected quality, my heart breaks for you. But I'm sorry, there's a good chance you may be an Oompa Loompa doopity doofus. But I would usually say that the character of the unknown should be in the next film. But then I remember one of the songs in Wonka has the lyrics, "Embrace the unknown, enjoy the adventure." Do they know? You know, honestly, that would actually be hilarious that you make a sequel about Wonka and it's the chocolate cartel wanting revenge, so they try to make him look bad with that whole experience. I mean, technically, they already tried to make him look bad when he first fully opened his chocolate shop. But in this case here, like, it would be hilarious to see, like, you see Slugworth and all the other rich chocolatiers that are like, "We will find a way to go and take down this Wonka, and we shall go and create an experience, but it won't be of him. We will make an entire one that will make him look bad. Not to mention that we shall make money off of you mean the poor? you know, like that kind of whole scenario. That would actually be hilarious. Oh, let's see now. I have no idea what the Willy Wonka experience Glasgow was when I heard about it, and now that I have seen pictures of it, may I ask, what is this? I mean, what is all this? This looks like a construction site that didn't even bother to finish. It's just lazy. The horror attraction where I work right now as an animatronic worker myself, Woods of Terror, puts in way more effort than this because this is cheap in the worst way possible. The customers, including the kids, deserve better than this. Oh, they absolutely do. Not denying there. I mean, that's why I say this is objectively the worst, because there's no way possible that you could find a way to make it worse than this, other than maybe having the Oompa Loompas come in and just beat up the guests. That's the only way that I can imagine that it could sink lower. Let's see, what other comments would we have here? Okay, I get the economy is terrible and people are on a budget, but don't do this. I hope everyone who even thinks about using AI looks at this incident and the backlash and thinks, do they really want to deal with this PR nightmare? Yeah, if the scammers get away with it and keep the money, then this won't bother them. I hope Billy Cool gets punched in the face. Like, holy crap, his books sound awful. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if he deserves to be punched in the face, then it's definitely worth it for the books more so than the experience. I would, honestly, I would give him a pass for the whole Wonka experience because he just seems like someone who's too stupid to know any better. But like for the conspiracy theory stuff and the anti-vax crap, yeah, just like you would with any QAnon conspiracy theorists or any anti-vaxxer, they absolutely deserve a punch in the face in the hopes that maybe you can literally knock some sense into them. Let's see, what else do we have here? I've been to hundreds of experiences for the last few years, and my favorite ones was the SpongeBob experience back in 2019 for the 20th anniversary. But this Wonka experience is something I really wish I've seen. If I had the chance to experience this, I would absolutely do it for my channel and make fun of it a bit and try to make the best out of it. But hearing this, I really wish I could have made a video about it, but I think it's for the best since I don't really want to get ripped off. Yeah, exactly. I think, like, for now, it's for the best to just, like, step back from the whole situation. At least, like, for me, like, it would be more for the respect of the actors, even though, well, technically I'm already doing this, so it doesn't necessarily work. But I mean, like, if, like, to experience it firsthand, I would recommend not. Let's see now. This is honestly just a hilarious train wreck. The fact that they use AI to promote this experience is just crazy, and everything about this is insane. This is basically the real life equivalent of one episode of SpongeBob with Mr. Krabs and Krabby Land. So overall, this is just comical. Seriously, the moral of this story is that if they use AI generated images to promote something, you shouldn't trust it. Exactly, man. People who want to if people think that they could use AI for the lazy route in order to do the writing or the artwork for them, then you know that this place ain't worth it. If they ain't putting in the effort on either the writing the script, writing the promotional work, or doing the artwork, then they didn't put in any effort onto whatever they're promoting. Let's see what else we have here. You know what this reminds me of, AniMat? Those pictures of reality comparisons of fast food restaurants, where you see the pictures and then the reality. You facepalm and play the Curb Your Enthusiasm music of the fact that a person could don this and feel zero remorse is absolutely disgusting. It has become a scam of the leagues of Legends of Oz. God, how is Cool not in jail? He feels like Mr. Krabs in real life. Yeah, you know what? That was honestly something. That's my one regret of this. I should have played this. I mean, this really is a place that you look at it and you go, but yeah, it definitely is true that this feels like a legitimate scam. Like, this is honestly one of the most notorious scams that ended up in such a disaster. Like, I feel like this is pretty much this is a scam that is in the same leagues as Firefest, as Nick Recchietta's GoFundMe campaign to fund the infamous Vic Mignogna lawsuit, as well as DashCon. Like, it's in those leagues of things that are obviously scams, but they turn out to be such hilarious disasters. Oh, boy. Let's see what else. Do I really have to say it? It's just a flat-out dump. And not just as a shabby place, but an actual dump. Seriously, in what world will this be a good idea that it exists, or AI is a trustworthy device? Believe me, it is not worth working with it. It couldn't even generate Star Wars in fish form. All I could say is, Injustice, I hope he gets, I hope he gets hanged around his arms and legs and is fed with green stuff. Oh, okay. You know, at first I read that comment, I was like, okay, whoa, you might be going too far. And then I realized, oh, okay. Okay, I see where you're going with it. Okay, I understand now. Oh, let's see. I think I'm going to read one more comment before we move on to the next break. Let's see. All right. I haven't seen Wonka, but this is a complete scam. Why would they lie and completely disrespect the movie? You need to pay respect to the source no matter what it is. Rather it be a movie or an experience based on the source material. I am sorry for everyone who got scammed, and I hope they get their money's worth. Or they get their money back. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, though. It's that, obviously, Billy did not give a crap when it comes to respecting the source material. He's just thinking about, like, just making a quick buck out of the success of Wonka. That is pretty much it. That's why I say that Billy is just a completely idiotic and sociopathic scam artist. Just someone who is so desperate to make a quick buck, but is so desperate to actually do so efficiently.